Good morning, it's Crazy Joe. Welcome to Crazy Joe Adventures. Today we're at the Monroeville Convention Center, Monroeville, Pennsylvania, just outside of Pittsburgh for the Steel City Comic-Con. We're gonna check it out. There's a lot of guests here, and hey, look at this. It's Paul Fusco's autograph. Paul Fusco, Alf, right there. A lot of cool stuff here. A lot of vendors, a lot of guests. Who knows who we're gonna run into today? Let's get crazy. Checking out the dealer's room, looking at a lot of art, comic books, toys, vintage toys. Looks like this is going to be quite a convention. Lots of Funko Pops. I've kind of fallen off on Funko Pops myself. They're cool, but they take up a lot of space. I needed to cut back. I have vague recollections of that Fisher-Price Zoo. I may have had that. No, I don't think I had that. I definitely played with it, though. Someone I knew had it or something. I still have one of those Sesame Street sets. I need the little people, though. I don't have the little people that go with it. I got the set at home, but not the little people. A lot of vintage old toys. Stuff from the 80s and 90s. It's almost as much a toy show as it is a Comic-Con. Kinda like RetroCon, which is, of course, my favorite con of the year. We'll be covering that later in the year. But yeah, lots of toys. Lots of toys. And comics too. There's definitely a lot of comics here as well. And autographs. Right off the bat, I'm seeing a vintage Halloween costume here. Bullwinkle. Those are very collectible. I don't collect them myself. I had a couple, and I got rid of them. They're hard to store because they're very fragile. But I know a lot of people really like those, and I can't blame them. Hey, there's a Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea lunchbox. We featured that exact lunchbox on the Lunchbox Bunch. Thanks to our good friend Lisa Soares. She sent us one of those. Lots of old vintage trading cards. There's the Batman cards, RoboCop, Ghostbusters, Howard the Duck, the Black Hole. That's a good one. Baseball, football, who cares about that? There's Alf, Donkey Kong, Back to the Future 2. I see Return to Oz over there. Those are pretty exciting. I remember those days, collecting all those cards. Dick Tracy's down there. Some pretty good ones. It's a whole world I could veer into. Star Trek Voyager, Next Generation. Those Black Hole ones are pretty tempting. Oh, Superman the movie, Superman 2, the A-Team, some really good ones. These prop replica dealers, in fact, this exact prop replica dealer, it's, you know, the same dealer, does a lot of the conventions I go to. It's got some good ones. Backphone. I own a couple. I have the Fortress Crystal. I got that at Dragon Con from this very vendor a couple of years ago. And I got the Crystal Shard from the Dark Crystal, which is probably here somewhere. Very nice stuff. I have a Mr. Pointy. A whole lot of VHS tapes, including several I used to own. I've upgraded them to Blu-ray now, but I had those Planet of the Apes.
There's a U-Haul and there's a huge red truck. There actually should be a backup sitting in my back seat.
Some young Indiana Jones. Hopefully the wind isn't too loud. The convention center's over there, but I have been routed over to this tent at the hotel because my first order of business is to get an autograph for Mr. Dolph Lundgren. I have a Masters of the Universe poster here that is already signed by Robbie McNeil, who most people know as Tom Paris from Voyager, and James Tolkien, who most people know as Principal Strickland from Back to the Future. They're both in the movie. They both signed it. But I've been wanting Dolph for some time, and we're about to get him. Unfortunately, I won't be able to get that on film probably. You know how the celebrities are. They don't like you filming them unless you pay a lot of money. So I don't think we'll be getting it on film, but we will be getting the autograph. I'm waiting in line for Dolph Lundgren, and off in the distance, there's a rather impressive Groot. Look at that. That's a fairly impressive costume. There he goes.
What do you mean, here it goes?
Just ran into a gremlin. How you doing there, buddy? Did you eat today?
Okay, where's when I wait? Thanks for coming up.
Randy Quaid is also here. I got a picture with him. It's cool to meet Cousin Eddie. The autograph line was quite long, but I finally got Dolph Lundgren's signature on this Masters of the Universe poster, something I've wanted for quite a while. Got a display case with a bunch of autographs from previous guests. Look at that. Meatloaf, Lord of the Rings, Mama's Family. There's the cast of the Goonies. Pretty cool. See the Vacation cast back there. So the convention was being held over here at the Doubletree by Hilton. That's where I waited to meet Dolph Lundgren. And now I'm heading up here to the Monroeville Mall. If you're a horror movie fan, this mall should be very familiar to you. This is where they shot the 1978 classic, Dawn of the Dead. This is the mall from Dawn of the Dead. And we're going inside. Approaching the mall, you can see the poster right here in the window. So they're celebrating this mall's legacy. Over here in the corner, we see a JCPenney. Now, many scenes in Dawn of the Dead took place in a JCPenney in this mall. However, not that one. Apparently, this location was not the original location. The original location, I'm told, is what is now the movie theater. So this was not the JCPenney in 1978 that would have been in the movie. But apparently over here, there is a museum devoted to the Night of the Living Dead movies. And I just ran into a friend of mine. You may not recognize him in this mask. You might recognize him in a Dr. Doom mask. This is Mad Max from the MME channel.
Hey everyone.
And yeah, we're hanging out at the mall together. Now, I don't know, did you know there was an episode of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood shot here, and I believe it was right down there. And I say that because of these skylights. These skylights here were in the episode of Mr. Rogers. And it was at the bottom of an escalator in this mall. Chef Brockett, Mr. Rogers' friend Chef Brockett, was in a baking competition that I think took place right down there.
I didn't know that. I didn't know.
Frederick.
My hair is crazy. I didn't shave today. It's been a crazy day, but thanks. I'm very happy to meet Crazy Joe.
Yeah, it's good to meet in person.
Yes.
So, let's go check out the museum.
Okay.
Monroeville Zombies. That is actually from the Kevin Smith movie. These are the hockey jerseys, or the logo on the hockey jerseys from Zach and Miri Make a Porno. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
We got some pretty cool shirts here. Look at that. Channel 11, Pittsburgh, Zombie Capital of the World. A directory of the mall. You are screwed. There you go. Look at that. That's the mall.
Just The Walking Dead.
All right, I bought a ticket to check out the Living Dead Museum. Let's check this out. Pittsburgh's premier horror museum. There we go. There's a zombie. Some signed posters back there. The Making of Dawn of the Dead. One of the guys who works here was kind enough to give me a layout of the mall and tell me where everything used to be. Because as I said, it's not quite the same anymore. Production used. Those are interior lights from the farmhouse. Look at this. This is cool. Screen used sheriff ammo belt.
Why are space experts being consulted about an earthbound emergency?
If Night of the Living Dead frightens you to death, you are insured for $50,000. Here's the first zombie from Night of the Living Dead.
Started back to Earth, but never got here. As the space vehicle which orbited Venus and then was purposely destroyed by NASA.
Here we go. Helicopter zombie costume. Screen used. Oh no, from recreating the role in 2019. This is not from the original movie. This is from a recreation. Still cool though. Tom Savini cutout machete. Stay scared. That's cool. Tom Savini signed that. Screen used JCPenney alarm bell. We'll go check out where the old Pennies used to be. Screen used Pennies lights. Look at this. This is a pretty cool thing. Dawn of the Dead original screen used props. SWAT rifle, turtleneck jersey. Look at that poster. It's signed by just about everybody. Prop alike. So I guess that's not an actual prop from the movie, but that is the same model. That's what I'm assuming prop alike means. JCPenney Monroeville Mall original elevator. This is the original elevator. Look at that. Holy cow, they got the original elevator right in here. Reconstructed from the original doors, ceiling, sides, rails. Wow. That's amazing. It's not just Dawn of the Dead either. We got Evil Dead posters here. Mindhunter, what's in here? Look at this. There's stuff from the Evil Dead movies in here. The window and shutters from Screen Used Cabin in Evil Dead 2. Now this, I gotta say, I was not expecting to see Screen Used props from Evil Dead in here. This is a surprise. That is, of course, a true classic. A classic of the genre. Prop alikes, again, I'm guessing a prop alike means it's not the original, but the same model. Flashdance, Zack and Miri. These are screen used from the show Mindhunter, which I've never seen Mindhunter. Screen used Holden Ford's hospital IV stand. Set decor. Look at this. I heard this was a good show. Never watched it myself, but if you're a fan of Mindhunter, there you go. Look at this. JCPenney Monroeville Mall original escalator. Wow. (1978) era security uniform. The original interior mall light fixture. And it's signed by Tom Savini. And George Romero. That's what the mall looked like back then. This is really, really cool. I'm glad I came in here. Thank you to Max. Max had to take off, but thank you to Max for telling me about this. Timeline of the Living Dead. Look at this. Costumes from different zombie productions. There's Thriller. This isn't screen used. That isn't screen used stuff. But they've even got video games on there. There's Resident Evil. Sorry, my got my fingers in the shot. I apologize. I'm holding a lot of stuff because I'm coming right from the con. So I got a lot of stuff in my hands. I do apologize. What's in here? Stuff from the Krazy's. Krazy screen used hall door. Creep Show. Creep Show prop replica. Day of the Dead original prop. Zombie extra mask. Look at this. This is really cool. George Romero's filmography. Look at that. He did Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Did you know that? Look, before Night of the Living Dead, he was working on Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Back here is the Mall of Fame. It's the Romero zombie version of the Hollywood Walk of Fame. There's lots of pictures here of people putting their handprints on. Now, I have a great appreciation for these movies, but I will confess I don't know them as well as a lot of people do. So, I don't recognize all these names, but there's George Romero. There's Tom Savini. But I don't know Ken Foree. There's Ken Foree. But I'm afraid I don't know all the names. I'm a fan, but I am not a super fan. I know some super fans. This series of films definitely has a lot of super fans. This is really cool. Right here in the Monroeville Mall where they shot the movie. Coming out of the Living Dead Museum, I purchased an actual piece of the cabin from Evil Dead 2. This is a piece of the exterior of the screen-used Evil Dead 2 cabin. And they're selling these little pieces of movie history right here for 20 bucks. And look at this, they have the date it was bagged. It was bagged on my birthday. That's didn't think I'd be buying this today. That's a surprise. All right, I'm down at the bottom of the escalator in front of the Pennies. I was saying to Max, I thought this is where they shot that episode of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood where Chef Brockett was in the baking competition. But the guy in the Living Dead Museum told me this cannot be the place because in the episode it was at the bottom of some escalators, and these escalators were just installed in the year 2000. He told me that episode, if there were escalators there, it would have had to have been the center court because at that time, those were the only escalators. So let's go check out that spot. But first, look at this. They have a bust here of George Romero. There he is, right there, George Romero. And there's a dedication plaque. Yeah. There you go. George himself. So this is center court, and as we see, we do see the skylights up there. And I'm told that these escalators are the escalators that would have been here in the 70s. So this area right here apparently is where that Mr. Rogers episode would have been shot. I'll see if I can find a clip of that episode to put in here so you can get a look at it. But this, from what I'm told, is where that would have had to have been based on the timeline of where the escalators were located at that time. So Chef Brockett would have had his cake in the cake decorating contest right around here.
Wait a minute. Stop the press. I was wrong. I went back, I reviewed the tape. I have footage from the Mr. Rogers episode that I will insert here. As you can see, my memory was faulty. There were no escalators. It was a staircase. I remembered escalators. It was a staircase. And after reviewing the episode, it's very clear I was right the first time. That area outside the JCPenney's that I pointed to with Max, that was the location of the baking competition on Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. And we got video evidence. It matches. Also, check it out. The light fixtures on the wall match the ones that we saw in the Living Dead Museum. Very cool.
So here's the Cinemark movie theater. And from what I'm told, this was the old JCPenney location. So a good deal of the action from Dawn of the Dead was shot right around here at this movie theater, because this used to be the JCPenney. Over at the Living Dead Museum, they told me that the lower right entrance is where the bikers entered the mall. So if that's accurate, and I have no reason to believe it isn't, this right here would have been the spot where the bikers first made their appearance and came into the mall. Tom Savini was one of those bikers. But yeah, right here, back in 1978, those bikers came right in. If my information is accurate. And they're the experts, so I don't doubt that it is. I was also told at the Living Dead Museum that this children's play area was the site of the fountain in the movie. So the fountain was apparently at one time right down there. That's going to be it for today's adventure here at the Steel City Comic-Con and at the world-famous Monroeville Mall from the movie Dawn of the Dead. So thanks for joining us on this adventure. Thank you to the staff at the Steel City Comic-Con for allowing us to come in and check the con out. And be sure and like and subscribe if you enjoy what we do. We're going to go on more adventures soon. We're going to continue to get crazy. Keep wearing those pajamas.
Keep wearing those pajamas with the plastic feet. Keep wearing those pajamas. Tell everyone you meet. Keep wearing those pajamas with the back door flap. Keep wearing those pajamas. Don't open, it's a trap. Oh no, it's a trap. Some people call them PJs, some people call them jammies. They can come embroidered with big money and no whammies. They can have 100 tiny commander Adamas, but no matter how they look, just keep on wearing those pajamas. Keep on wearing those pajamas. Keep wearing those pajamas. And now we're having fun. Keep wearing those pajamas. And now the song is done.